This is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. What are we riding today? Yeah, this is the Lectric Expedition 2.0 cargo bike. Yeah. Let's get past here. Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Saying hi to all the crossing guards here. Yeah, I tried to take this bike out yesterday. Rained on me. Yeah, it rained on me. Was that yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it rained on me. And yeah, got a little bit wet. Got back home. Then it stopped. Yeah, well, by that time, it was getting hot. Yesterday had a high of like 90 degrees. It's back down again, but today is actually a pretty decent day to go out. So I figured I'd try again. Take this bike out and see where we might be able to go. Now, the reason I wanted to take this bike out is because this one is the extended range version of the Expedition 2.0. I have two of the extended range batteries in here, giving me a total of 35 amp hours for my batteries between the two, 17.5 each. And that makes a difference. That allows you to go to some distance. All right, I was gonna let them go, but they want me to go first. This is usually the case, is that nobody wants to hit the bike rider. They'd rather you go, and they'll wait a little bit longer. Out in this area, I would say a lot of the cars seem to be fairly courteous to the bikes. I know that's not the case everywhere you go, but out here in the suburbs, the northwest suburbs of Chicago, they kind of realize that we're out there. So yeah, I wish it was more courteous like that at other areas. I know that some of the places now, you know, they're so against e-bikes and bikes in general that it's just difficult to work with. So I'm just lucky to be where I am at this point. So anyway, I'm not really sure where I'm gonna head. Let me tell you a little bit what I did to the Expedition, okay? Now, it's pretty well known that I haven't been a very big fan of electric saddles. It's on every single bike, okay? It's the same saddle. So every electric bike I have replaced them with some other saddle. This one, I have one of the Bikeroo saddles on here, and it's not the Bikeroo saddle that you would put on a bike. It's the Bikeroo saddle that is designed for stationary bikes, you know, exercise bikes. I didn't want to have one with springs on it, so the stationary bike version is the same saddle essentially without the springs, but over time they ended up changing to a harder saddle compared to the very first Bikeroo saddles that I bought when I first started out in e-biking. So this is one of the harder ones, but it's wider. That was the main thing. So, and it wasn't very expensive in comparison to some other saddles out there. I think this one may have been around the $25, $26 range. I'm guessing. It's been a while. It's been several years since I've had this saddle, and it's been put on many of my bikes because as you might know, is when I sell the bikes off, I replace the original saddles, if I can remember where they are. And I take off the saddles that I bought because I have to kind of move them from bike to bike. Otherwise, I'll be buying bike saddles for lots of bikes. So if you've ever bought an e-bike from me or are thinking of buying an e-bike from me, the ones that I have to move on, I always try my best to remember to put everything back to the original state rather than you know, leaving like the mirrors and other things that I put on there. So I changed out the saddle and I added a side view mirror on here. I also added a bell because for some reason Lectric does not include a bell. They really should. I don't know why they don't do that. I know they sell a bell. Maybe they just want to sell you a bell. I have no idea. But they really should put a bell on there. You know, the bells aren't expensive. You know, you can buy your own, but it'd be nice if they had one. It didn't. It wouldn't stop me from buying their bike if they didn't have a bell. I would just add a bell. So anyway, weather seems pretty decent. I checked what the weather report said. It said that the weather was 75 degrees out here. I don't think it is. It will be. It will get up there, but I don't think it is right now, because I can still feel the chilliness in the air as I'm riding through. Now you might be wondering, you know, you have long sleeves on. This is a UV rated shirt that I have on. I've had this shirt for several years now. And my daughter and son-in-law got it for me. They got me a couple of them actually. Mrs. Wright bought me a couple of them too. So a lot of times you may find that I'll be wearing long sleeves, even though it's bright and sunny. It's because, well, you know, I don't want all the UV on me either. I got my gloves on. Got long pants on still. Haven't shifted to shorts or anything yet. Have my yellow vest on, my X-Needle helmet on. Got my smartwatch on. Yeah, got it all. You know, what's kind of nice is that this particular bike comes with a suspension seat post. Although it's just a standard pogo stick type suspension seat post. It's not a fancy one like a Suntour seat post, but still, it feels good. The only thing with a suspension seat post, especially the pogo stick type, is that when you first start out, you think, oh, it's so high up, but then when you're sitting on it, you know, your weight pushes down on it, and so you almost have to have a higher saddle height to compensate for the amount that drops down when you sit. And of course, when you hit a bump, you go up and down as well. So, all right. There's a lot of no parking things here. Road work coming up, I see. Okay. It says no parking, road work, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So they are finishing up this road. I know that they were working on resurfacing a lot of streets in this area. Maybe that's what they were doing. I don't know. But this road was all hacked up. So it seems pretty smooth right now. So I think they did it. Maybe they're done and they forgot to take the signs down. I don't know. No idea. All right. Now, where's the cell phone? Yeah, it's sitting in my pocket. They didn't fix this. Here we go. They're not totally done. They are not totally done. That's why the signs are still there. Okay, so this is a cargo bike. Why are you riding a cargo bike? Do you have anything to deliver or pick up? No. No, I don't. But there's no reason why I can't ride a cargo bike as a regular bike. Why not? The nice part about it, like I said, I got double batteries on here, and they're the bigger batteries too on top of it. So I can go farther distance if I want. Let's stop here. You know, I've gotten used to these step-through design type bikes now. When I first got a step-through bike, I had a hard time getting used to it because, you know, if you've always ridden one that was a step-over bike, you have a center bar on top at that top tube, and so that's what held the bike up when you let go of the handlebars. You can't let go of the handlebars on a step-through bike unless you want the bike to tip over. There's nothing in between your legs to hold it up. So yeah, you gotta learn that if you're gonna go and do this, you've got to keep hanging on to the bike at least with one hand. You don't want the bike falling over. Now, this particular bike is interesting because it does have turn signals on here, the left and right turn signals. I haven't used it. That's something I got to get used to. I'm not used to using the turn signals on the thing. You know, a lot of bikes now are starting to add that to their bike, and I'm just not used to doing it. Let's try it. Push the button. Yeah, it says left. Okay. And then cancel it out. There you go. How do you cancel it out? Oh, hit it a second time. Canceled it out. Okay, so you hit it one time to get it to go, hit it a second time to cancel it out. Okay. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Okay, let's take the left turn signal on. I'm gonna take a left. Of course, the people in the front don't know that you want to take a left. That's the thing. They don't know. So you still got to use your arms to let them know. Even with the turn signals, I would still use it. I would still use an arm signal. Turn signals aren't necessarily the brightest things in bright sunlight. If you're riding around at night, it would be okay. But they're not always the brightest things, and people aren't used to having turn signals on a bike, so they don't know to look for it. So I think the safest thing that you can do really is to continue to use your hand signals, even if you have the turn signals. And that's why I haven't really fully adopted the turn signal. I don't want to have to push the button and put my arm out and then come and push the button again, turn it off. It's kind of a hassle. But, it's a feature. Some people like it. That's fine. That's fine. How far down are we going to go? I keep forgetting. We'll eventually take a right and then a left. We'll keep going a little bit. So where are we going? I don't know. I don't know. Do I ever know where I'm going? I just go. Yeah, I just go. We go and then we see what's out there. That's the way to do it. All right, so let's take a right over here. Put my arm out. Nobody's behind me anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. If there's nobody around, I don't stop, as you know too. I just kind of go. This is a huge house. Okay, I've come down this road before. I know that there's a huge house that was on the left. There's one at the corner end of this house, on the corner of this thing. It's pretty huge too. Take a look at this thing. I'll angle my body a little bit. Man, these things are huge. Yeah, this house usually decorates quite a bit for Halloween, if I remember. Okay, we will wait our turn as the cars go by. And now it's our turn to go. Let's go this way. So we are most likely in Arlington Heights at this point, for those who are local or relatively local to the area. We'll just keep going straight here. I think eventually you run into like Lake Arlington. I'm not going to do that because they've posted signs up saying that they don't want any bikes or e-bikes there. So we're not going to go there. I don't particularly like riding in Lake Arlington anyway. I've done it several times in the past. It's kind of a tight path. The walkers never know which way to walk, which way not to walk, because they have signs that say walkers on the left, bikes on the right, walkers still right, walk on the right, and then you got to hit them with the bell, and it's just too confusing. I think maybe that's why they finally said forget it. It's a little too narrow, a little too dangerous for everybody. So yeah, I would say forget it. Forget it. This Arlington Heights Road. This cross street here. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We got power. Let me lower my pedal assist a little bit here. I don't want to go really fast. I'll just take it easy. Pedal along a little bit. Why not? Now, can you go faster on this bike? Yeah, it's set up for 28 miles per hour if you pedal. You'll want to be on pedal assist level 5 when you do that, but we'll put it on 5. Whatever. I think that was an e-bike. I think it's one of those radio flyer ones. It said flyer on it. Yeah, nice day for a bike ride. I need some water here. I'm kind of drying out. Got this water bottle from Lectric. Yeah, it's one of the bottles that I had when I went to visit them in Arizona. They said, Russ, take a bottle of water. Oh, thank you. Take some more. Yeah, I had 4 bottles of water with me. Still needed more. We ended up stopping at a CVS and bought more. Yeah, I went through like 5 or 6 bottles of water. Unbelievable amount of water. But you sweat it all off. That's the thing, you know. Arizona, they say, oh, it's dry heat, but it's heat, man. Heat is heat. 104 degrees is 104 degrees. I don't care what they call it. It's still hot. But the people at Lectric, really nice people. I had a really good time. Met all the YouTubers and everything. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I was the oldest guy there. I told you guys that. Oldest guy there. It's okay. I was still functioning. I had my mobility scooter with me. And yeah, they drove me around when I couldn't walk the distances. Drove me around the places. Yeah, what a deal. Thanks, Lectric. Yeah, really nice people there. It's no wonder they're the #1 e-bike company in the United States. They sell more bikes than anybody. I tell you, the XP 3.0 was the #1 bike last year. I fully expect XP 4 will do similarly. I mean, they have that bike at the same price at $1,000. Then they have an updated version, go from a 500 watt motor to a 750 watt motor. I think you get some extended range as well with a bigger battery. So really, if you can afford that, do the 750. Yeah, do the 750. If you can't, you know, start out with the 500 watt. And then by that time, you might want to upgrade to one of their other models anyway. So you have to make a decision. Is this going to be a starter bike for you, where you know you're going to eventually move on, or is this the bike you're planning to just keep it? If you're going to plan to just keep it, I'd say get the better bike. Get the 750. Yeah. All right. We should be our turn pretty soon here. You know, an interesting thing with the cargo bikes is I know people always look at you when you're on a cargo bike because it's a different looking bike. You know, and the back end is kind of long, right? And then I have that thing where the kids can hang on to it, right? I mean, I don't carry any kids on mine, but technically you could. What I use it for is if you have anything to pick up, I put like maybe a long cooler in the back. Then I bungee cord the cooler. I have the bungee cords hold on to those handrails. That's what I use it for. So that's why I keep that on there. But when nobody's on it and there's no cooler back there, then it just looks like a huge bike with stuff for people to hang on to. I take off the footrests too, because they have footrests available so that the kids have someplace to put their feet when they're sitting back there, which is nice. But if you're not carrying any kids, you don't need that. It's just another thing you can kind of knock your shins into. So if you take it off, it narrows in the bike a little bit, right? The footprint of the bike is a little more narrow in. I think that works out better. At least for me, it does. Yeah, so a little bit different. We're finally getting a distance out of there. I mean, I've been riding the same neighborhood light for the last several months, Yeah, since we were able to take the bike out, I haven't left the neighborhood. So I wanted to go a little further out this time. And I always have range anxiety. A lot of people do. It's like if I go too far, will I have enough battery to get back home? This is why a lot of times I ask the bike companies, please give me a second battery. Then I can take your bike out farther, right? And when we make these videos on YouTube, you know, I'll be on the bike longer. It's more promotion for the companies too, if you think about it. So it helps everybody out, you know. And then for the viewer, we get to see areas that I don't normally always go to, right? So I've asked Lectric always for the extended battery versions with bikes, and they've been very accommodating for that. So thank you to them, and the other companies too, because they'll give me a second battery many times if you ask. You know, not always, but many times the companies will. And let's go forward. We are on Willow Road, for those who need to know. I think this will bring us to, this should bring us to Prospect Heights area, I believe. We just have to just keep going. Then Prospect Heights will bring us into Mount Prospect. And maybe we'll ride over to Costco. Right over to the Mount Prospect Costco. I mean, we're not going to go in. I don't have anything to lock my bike up or anything, and I wouldn't do it anyway. Maybe we'll ride past it. We've done this before in the past, where we've ridden past Costco. It's at the Randhurst Shopping Center. I don't know what they call that still. That I used to call it the Randhurst Mall. It used to be an indoor mall, but they converted it to all outdoor type stores. They have a hotel there and everything. Yeah, I don't think it's done that well. I mean, certain stores are a staple there. You know, Costco is of course going to do well, but some other stores have shut down when they converted that thing over to that kind of shopping experience. It's like a hotel in there and everything. I don't know. It's kind of weird. To me, it's weird. All right, where are we at here? What is this? I don't see the cross street name, so we're gonna keep going past it. I think that was Elmhurst Road. I'm not sure. Let's keep going. Speed limit 30 miles per hour. Well, we're not doing that anyway. I mean, you could. You pedal a little harder. What we're doing here, 23, going down a hill, that's why. Yeah, hey, it's good to have the power. It's good to have, oh, it's a slow turtle crossing. I don't think that, I don't know whose sign that is. Is that some resident put that up? I don't think that's the city sign. Well, they got water here. I've seen people try to fish out of here. I don't know if they have fish here or not. Yeah, when I rode this bike out in Arizona, we rode it for 3 hours. I think only one of my batteries was on at the time. It's probably because we didn't push the power to the second battery. Here's the thing with electric bikes, okay? If your bike sits idle for a while, I don't know how long, a day or two, 2 days, 3 days, I don't know how long. Eventually the batteries go to sleep, okay? And then it won't, if you hit the power button on your control pad here, it won't turn on the bike, right? There's usually a center button here on the handlebar. It won't turn it on. What you have to do is you got to wake up the battery. So you got to go to the battery, push the power button on the battery to wake it up. Only one of my batteries was working at the time. Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't that. You know what it was? The second battery wasn't seated properly on the cradle. Yeah, that was what it was. Yeah, so I was running for only one battery for the vast majority of the time I was on that bike for almost 3 hours. Then I noticed my battery power, my level was dropping dramatically. I says, hey, I said, I don't think I have enough power to get home, you know, to get back. So the guys took a look at it, you know, the guys who were with me, and they go, oh, this thing's not seated right. And then we didn't have the keys either for the battery. So we kind of jammed it real quick, and it went in there. And then we powered it up at that point, that second battery. And then all of a sudden my power meter went back up. So essentially I was riding on a single battery for the vast majority of the 3-hour ride. Yeah, it took me all that distance too. I don't know how many miles we did, 20 something miles. I don't know what it was. It was quite a distance. And then I took the second battery and was able to get back with it. Yeah. Yeah, it was so hot when we were out there that you know, I could feel it that I wasn't doing well. Health-wise, I wasn't doing well. So the guys were saying, let's stop for some additional water. We stopped at a CVS, bought some water, and then one of the guys poured some water onto a towel, put it around my neck. That made a huge difference. Thank you to him. I still have that towel. But makes a huge difference. Man, that really cooled me down. But yeah, I could feel my heart was pounding harder and everything. You know, I'm not health-wise, I'm not as good as those guys. Those guys are younger than I am, and I have, you know, health issues and stuff going on. And So yeah, thank you to them for watching out for me. Yeah, I said this before. I told you guys that the other YouTubers were looking out for me, which just shows you the compassion that a lot of these guys have there. You know, those guys are pretty good. Yeah, many of the YouTubers are actually pretty good. Yeah. So I told Levi, who's the owner of Lectric, I told him, I says, thank you for the invite and bringing us out here. But I says, equally as important, besides, you know, seeing the new bikes from Lectric, was the ability to meet the other YouTubers. We don't get an opportunity really to meet the other guys a lot of times. Many of them knew who I was. Some of them had no clue who I was. I didn't know everybody. I don't watch everybody's channel, but since then I've been trying my best to watch the channels of the guys that I at least met, you know. I had dinner with Monkey Wrench Mike. Yeah, go check out Monkey Wrench Mike's YouTube channel. He's an interesting guy. He's a former TV news anchor. And so he's known in his area. But he does a YouTube channel where he repairs cars that he's found at like a junkyard. I wouldn't call it a junkyard because, well, technically I guess it is a junkyard. Where cars are put there and then you can buy them if you want, and then he fixes them up. Yeah. Sometimes he's successful, sometimes not so successful. But it's interesting to see him do it, you know. And then he reviews e-bikes and scooters and all sorts of other stuff too. So interesting, it's this interesting channel. But we had dinner together when we were out there. Went to an Italian restaurant together. Yeah, we had the guy, the hotel had a drop-off service. They were using their golf cart, and they dropped us off at one of the local Italian restaurants, not too far from the hotel, maybe a mile or so. I don't know, something like that, if that. Yeah, and then they came and they picked us up too. How do you like that? We just called them, hey, we're done, and then they came and they picked us up. Complimentary service, pretty nice. Yeah, he was fun to talk to, and we've exchanged emails a couple of times since then. So yeah, hope we can get out there again together again so I can see him again. So yeah, he's a good guy. All right, what else? Other guys too. Who's the other guys? Maximum Charge, right? Alex from Maximum Charge. Who else did we meet out there? We met a lot of people. Oh man. Shoot the Chit. Shoot the CHIT. Go check that channel out. Yeah, I hung out with him. We had lunch together on the final day that we were there, and then we shared an Uber ride to get to the airport. We hung out at the airport together. His flight back to California was earlier than mine, so I hung out with him until it was time for me to leave, and time for him to leave. I don't know if his was earlier, mine was earlier, I don't know. Then I finally went off to my my gate, but we had a good talk over there too. Yeah. So yeah, I met a number of people. Who else did I meet out there? Well, I met Kyle from Area 13, although we kind of knew of each other before that time. We just never met each other. And then Electrified Latina, yeah, met her out there. Let's see, let me go forward here. We're at the Costco. If you look to the left, you might see the Costco sign there. We'll ride past them. I mean, it's before their opening time, so it's fine. Put our left hand out for the turn. Yeah, we've been here many times before in the past. So we are in Mount Prospect at this point, for those who want to know what the local area is. We'll ride past Costco here. Home Depot to our left. Yeah, people say, hey, why don't you just ride your bike to get your pizza? Because I go get a pizza every day. I literally do. I get a pizza literally every single day at Costco. It gives me something to do. And then as I'm driving my car to go there, I do my More from Russ channel videos. Here's Costco's entrance here. Yeah, it's pretty empty at this point. Well, oh, the hotel's here on the right, by the way. Yeah, I can't cut over. The parking lot, unless you know the parking lot, it's a little confusing. You can't just cut over. You got to go around things and everything. It's really confusing. I mean, if you know it, you know it. But if you're new, you go, how do I get over there? I got to cut through this whole parking lot area. I mean, it is a little confusing. We'll let this guy go. All right, let's cut over here. Yeah, we'll ride around the thing. Now there is a trail I could take to head back. That is the Prospect Heights Trail. We've done that many times, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I think a lot of times now they're really starting to get tough with the e-bikes on trails and stuff. It's not worth the headache for me. Let's go by the hotel here. So yeah, straight ahead you got a Hampton Inn Suites Hotel. Yeah, we'll ride past their front door. How's that? I remember when we were in Arizona. Yeah, I'm not going to go through their drop-off thing, but we'll go around it. They had some electric bikes for rental. Yeah, right in front of the hotel. You can go inside and tell them you want to rent a XP 3.0 and then rent it and ride around town there. Yeah, that was the Hilton that we were at. So yeah, what do I got here? Hongdae Korean Bar and Grill. A lot of these other places are just still for rent. Mr. Kimchi, all you can eat, Korean barbecue on the left. We've always been wanting to go there. Maybe we'll go there one day. I don't know. Watch the More from Russ channel. We've been doing food reviews and stuff there. And I did a hot pot place in Skokie called The Spot. Then I kept saying, I'd really rather have a place where you can grill up some meat besides just dunking it into hot water. I mean, a Chinese hot pot is just hot broth, and you dunk the really thinly sliced meat in there to cook it. I'd rather grill it. That's just me, maybe, I don't know. I'd rather grill it. There's a Jewel Osco food store on our left-hand side, AMC Theaters on our right-hand side. Whole bunch of little small stores that have gone out of business that we rode past. Yeah, it used to be an indoor mall here, but it changed over many years ago. But I still remember the mall. From my understanding, it may have been the first indoor mall in the area, in the northern suburbs or general area. I don't know. It had some status like that. Then he tore it all down, turned it into this thing. They say conceptually it's more interesting. I don't know. Does it do better? I have no idea. Seems like a lot of wasted space that could be indoor mall space. That's how I see it. Yeah, a rabbit running across this path there. All right, I think that's enough for that. Where else are we gonna head? Well, I know where we can go that we used to go. There's a park area. Well, maybe we won't do it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure whether I want to go there. Then I have to take the path to head back. Should we take the path and get yelled at? No, I don't want to take the path. Yeah, I really don't. All right, let's go forward here. All right, let's take a left out of here. Make sure all the cars are gone before I go. It's always clear on one side, but not necessarily clear on the other side. I think we will go after this white car. Gonna have to get into the left turn lane here. So let's get into the left turn lane here. Hey, let's use the turn signal. Not that I think anyone notices it. I know the people in front of it, they don't know that. But I'm gonna take a left here. Put my hand out, make my left. Turn off my turn signal. Yeah, fun stuff, you know. Let's check out the neighborhoods around here. Let's go through one of the neighborhoods area. These are nice neighborhoods too. I think these streets are wider than the streets in my area. No, it said it was 75. There's no way it's 75 right now. It can't be. I feel too much of the chill and the wind. Maybe closer to 70, maybe. Yeah, I don't have a shirt on other than the UV rated shirt, which is rather thin in the first place. Let's go this way. So I can feel the wind hitting me. It's like I said, it's designed for UV, not necessarily for wind protection. Yeah, if you don't cover up, you know, you got to put sunscreen on and things. And yeah, I don't like the sunscreen. You know, my wife has been telling me to put the sunscreen on because you're outside so much. Yeah, I hate that stuff. But yeah, I guess eventually you have to, you know, put it on your face and stuff, but I don't want to put it all over my arms and everything too. I think that's a little too much. We got to cross this major street. Yeah, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to swing around the block. Go back on that other street. Yeah, I'd have to take a left at that major street. I don't want to do that. I'll go around. My battery meter still shows, I don't know if I'm down 1 bar or not, but it's got a lot of battery left. And it shows you the wattage too, how much wattage you're using up. I mentioned before that having a lower wattage bike is not a bad idea sometimes. Yeah. If you're going distance, I don't know if I necessarily want a bike that peaks out at like 3,000 watts or something. It's eating up all your power. So your battery gets eaten up quicker, and then your range drops on top of it, right? I don't want to do that. But this thing will go up. I saw it's going past 1200 something watts, and then it'll drop back down. Yep. Yeah, when you're going distance, I don't know if speed is really the key to all of everything. Do we turn here? Oh, I should have taken a left. If I take a right, I end up back to the same place where I started out. Don't want to do that. Yeah, let's take a left, then take a right here. Yeah, it's confusing. All right. So yeah, I think a lower wattage bike, that's not a bad idea sometimes. Get some distance. Dual battery, slightly lower usage of power. Get some distance out of it. Yeah, nice long ride for you guys today, huh? I want to see how many people hang out to the end. Usually when I do this ride, I will cut it off. Yeah, I usually will say, okay, we're here, that's it, and then we're done. I'm gonna let it run. One of the reasons I used to cut it off was because of the fact that the GoPro, you'd have to change out the battery before you'd get back to my area. Battery wouldn't last that long. This DJI Action 5 Pro camera has a lot longer battery usage life. Yeah, I'm down at least 1 bar here now. So I've been doing both throttling and pedaling during this ride. Okay. Oh, turned on us already. Let's go ahead and take it. It's a golf course over here on our right-hand side. Yeah, now I keep thinking if the guy slices the ball, doesn't that then head over towards the cars? I've been down this road before and I've seen golf balls go across the street. But hey, if you're driving a car and he slices it, and doesn't that go through your windshield? Or if you're on a bike, you get hit by a golf ball, may not be so good. Yeah, you better be able to hit that thing straight. Yeah, I don't play golf, although I've been to the driving range many times. That's about the extent of what I would do for a golf ball. I don't like the idea of having to hit the ball and have to walk to go get to it. If I were to play golf, I'd have a golf cart. Well, I would have to now. I mean, I could barely walk as it is. I would have to. I would never be able to walk it. That's why I use a mobility scooter. Many of you may or may not know, but I do use a mobility scooter if I have to go a distance, because my hips hurt, my knees had been replaced, my left knee got replaced, although the knees are in pretty decent shape at this point. Yeah, all right, here's Camp McDonald again. We'll head back the same way we got here. So we'll take a left out of here. Let's hit the left turn signal, but again, forward-facing guys don't know you want to turn, right? I mean, the turn signal is not in the forward view, it's only in the back of you. I think companies, if they're going to add turn signals, they should add it to the front and the back. What do you think? I think so. That would be a better type of turn signal. And they better be really bright so people can see it. And it should be spread out as a distance, not like within 5 inches of the next one, you know what I'm saying? But that's hard to do. You'd have to have separate light fixtures then. It's too much effort. But when the turn signal is so close to the tail light, how do they know it's a turn signal? Whatever. Okay, well, hey, in the comments, let me know if you've made it to this far, and if you make it to the end of the video, let me know that too. See how many of you guys hang out with me the entire time. Put a comment too. Let me know if your bike has turn signals and whether you use it or you don't. What's your thoughts on turn signals? And if you do have turn signals, do you use your arms to make the left and right turns anyways? I think you should, really. I think you really should. All right. So am I tired out from this long ride? Not really. No, I'm not. Does your butt hurt? Not really. I think I've gotten used to being on bike saddles. That's probably why. I think from the beginning, when I first got my first e-bike, you know, I hadn't been on a bike in so long, right? Think about that. Many years. Yeah, within the first day, I said, yeah, my butt kind of hurts. That's when I immediately switched over to the Bikeroo saddle. I had a Rad Rover 5. That was my very first bike. Switched it over to the Bikeroo saddle. It was much better. Still had to get used to that though. All right, what is this thing here? This is a park, Prospect Heights Park with a swimming pool. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, they must be doing some lessons. I see kids off to the one side. Swimming lessons. I remember my daughter, as she was growing up, we put her in swimming lessons. And she went all the way up to American Red Cross, whatever thing it is, but I don't think she had life-saving stuff, but she did go through all the American Red Cross certification stuff, whatever that is. I have no idea. What a lousy dad. Don't know what your kid does. No, Mrs. Wright brought her to all that stuff. Yeah, I wasn't doing all that. I mean, sometimes I would bring her to it, but Mrs. Wright would sign her up for all the things. Oh, you know what? If I keep going, I'm going to end up on Rand Road. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be riding on Rand Road. We may have to turn around. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to turn around over here. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Is there a way to turn off somewhere? Let's keep looking. Okay, I see a side street. Will that take us to someplace good? Someplace good. Okay, let's take it, because any further I'm going to end up on Rand Road. I want to do that. Forget it. No, Rand Road will be more dangerous road to be on. You want to avoid it. I think speed limit might be 35 or 40, something like that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Here's how I deal with sitting for a long time. Sometimes I won't center myself on the seat. I'll just put my one butt cheek on the side of it, lean off the edge of the other side, and then just throttle. And I'll do the same on the other side. That way I'm not constantly sitting on the center all the time. Try it one day. That's what I'm doing right now. Let's see. Keep going. Let's see where it takes us. See where it takes us. We're heading in the right direction. That's all I know. See if we run into any streets that we can take. Yeah, I had mentioned before, I'm the worst with directions. I can get lost really quick. I have to kind of keep my my bearings with me. My dad, I mentioned this a long time ago, used to always say, just follow my nose. Yeah, he would never look at a map, but he'd always get to where he needed to be. Follow my nose. Uh-oh. It's a left or right only. If I take a left, I'm going to end back up on Rand Road. I don't want to do that. All right, we have to go backwards. We have to take a right. Try to find another street we can go across. Take a left on. Oh, here's one. Does that cut through? I don't know. It's not a major street. Let's go a little further. Yeah, what street is this? See, if I know the street, then I know whether I can take it. If this happens to be a street that they don't even give you the cross streets. I think this was the road we were on before. I think I gotta go actually take it. I gotta turn around. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. Well, I don't make a U-turn in the middle of the street. There's no way we're gonna have to, well, let's just stop here. Let's take a left over here. We'll swing our way around. Whatever. It's an adventure. It's an adventure. We just go with it. Follow your nose, like my dad says. Wherever his nose points, that's the way he goes. Yeah, up ahead would not be good. We're going to have to turn around. Okay, let's see. Is there any cars? No, no cars in front, no cars in back. We're just going to hop off and make a turn. That's okay. Let's just do that. I don't do hard U-turns, as you know. I don't do it. I just hop off and turn myself around. Yeah, that was Willow Road. Okay. Yeah, we can take Willow Road all the way up. That's how we came. Yeah, they don't put the cross street name at the intersection of the streets. They assume you know you're on Willow Road. Well, what if you don't know you're on Willow Road? Then it becomes a problem, right? All right, this should take us all the way through. Okay, no problem. Well, what do you think so far? Do you like these long rides? Well, technically, this is the first long ride of the season for me. Now, I do plan to go to the Botanic Garden this year. I'm going to do it early in July. So I have a riding date, with one of my high school friends' cousins. Yeah, I've never met him before. But he found out, he watches Russ's Ride, he found out that I know his cousin. So he's been wanting to ride with me. He doesn't live in the area, he lives out of state. So he's asked me a couple of times, you know, when he's come back to the area, I says, hey, you want to go out for a ride? And I have not been available for him for the last couple times, a couple years. So this time he says, what do you think about this year? I says, oh, okay. I think he's bringing his bike with him. Yeah. He's got a real expensive bike, from what I understand, from what he told me. I looked it up, it's like $4,700. I believe it's a mid-drive bike. So I think we'll do the North Branch Trail. Here's our plan. If he wants to be on camera, I'll put him in front. I'll just follow him. We're not going to go real fast. I mean, that trail is not designed for you to do super speeds on. But we'll take it from Morton Grove, and then we'll ride up the North Branch Trail to Botanic Gardens, which is that Northfield, I think it's called. And we'll hang out there for a little bit, get ourselves together, and we'll ride back. Yeah. So we'll start out in Morton Grove on Dempster Street, right by, what is the name of near Har Park, Lynn Woods, I think it's called. And then we'll park there and we'll just ride. Now, in the past, what I did is I rode my bike from my home to that area, then to Botanic Garden. That would be a 64, 65 mile ride. I don't think I want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to borrow Mrs. Wright's car, put the bike rack on it, transport the bike to Morton Grove, and then take it off and ride from that point. Then I think we have something like a 22, 24 mile ride back there and back. I think I'll be willing to do that. Otherwise, it's pretty much an all-day thing, you know, to do 60-something miles. I've done it. The last time I did it, it rained on me. The time I did it before that, I got a flat tire on my way back. Yeah, I got a flat in the Magicycle Deer 26-inch bike. Had to call Mrs. Wright to pick me up. We don't want to do that again. But hey, you never can tell, right? Now, we were talking recently at, we had a family get together for a dinner. Or it was a lunch, sorry, recently, this week. And my relatives were saying, what do you think about, slime and all that? Slime is actually on these bikes here. It's actually on the on all the electric bikes. They insert slime into the wheels for you, so it comes with slime. But none of my other bikes have slime in them. I originally had slime in the Rad Rover 5, and the very first time I inserted the slime, I blew out the tire. Yeah, I had a pinch flat after putting the slime in there. So here was my thought. When I got that flat on the Deere 26-inch, had I had slime in the tires, it's possible it could have stopped the air from coming out. Don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe it would have. Maybe it wouldn't. It was a roofing nail that got my tire. But anyways, let's say I didn't have slime in the tire. What if I carried slime as a bottle? Because I don't know what bike I'm going to take at any given time. And I don't want to put slime in everything. What if I carried a bottle of slime with me? So you get a flat, okay? So then at that point, the air is out of your tire. Take off the valve, insert the slime in at that point, then reinsert the valve, and then pumped up the tire with air. Would the slime at that point go into the hole to stop it from going? I don't know. Well, we'll let them go. We don't play chicken with the sanitation department. We will let him go first. So that was my thought. I could smell it too, by the way. My thought was put the slime in after the thing happened, wheel it around, spin it around, and then pump up with air. Now, if you brought yourself a portable air compressor, I just did a review of one just a couple of weeks ago. So check that one out. That's a small compressor. I mean, it's really small. It's smaller than a pack of cigarettes, really. And I use it all the time now as I'm checking out the tires before I leave. So you put air in there, will it seal it? Then you'd at least be able to make it back home. I think it would have. Yeah, I really think it would have. It might be some benefit of carrying a bottle of slime with you and to just put it in when you have a flat. Let me know what your thoughts on that would be. I don't see why that wouldn't work. That should be everything the same as getting the flat and having it already in there. The whole point is most people don't need to do that, but in my case, I would have to put slime in 18 bikes. Okay, less than that, because some of them are electric bikes. Electrics already have slime. What do you think about that? If you have a lot of bikes. Now, typically, you should just go ahead and insert it. If you're going to do it, just insert it. But in my case, I have too many. Be buying bottles and bottles and bottles of slime. Now, between the slime and what's the other one called? I can't think now. There's another flat out. Let me know what your thoughts are between slime and flat out. Now, they have an agreement with slime with Lectric, so they have slime in here. But between slime and flat out, many people feel flat out is better. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know if you've done it and what your thoughts are. There's another one called armadillos. Instead of armadillos, armor, like a shield and an armadillos. Some have said that that's even better. I don't have experience with either one of them, so I can't tell you. But some protection. Others say use tannis armor, the liners, right? Let me know if you've ever used a Tannis Armor or whether that's a big deal or not. I've always felt that something like that would make the tires feel a little smushy. You know, others have said, yeah, skip that, just go ahead and get yourself a pool tube. You know what I'm talking about? Those things for swimming pool. Pool flotation tube. Put that in there. I don't know. I don't have any of those stuff in there. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad. Who knows? There's many different ways you can do it. Okay, this thing is to come down now. I'm down 2 or 3 bars out of the thing. You know what I should have done? I should have checked I should have reset the odometer first, and or at least looked at it. I didn't even think of looking at it. It says 15.9 miles on there. I don't think we went 15.9 miles. It's probably an accumulation of when the last time I rode the bike and now. Yeah, I gotta learn to do that. I used to do it all the time, where I would reset my odometer, reset the trip meter, and now I keep forgetting to do it. Getting forgetful in my old age. All right. Yeah, I think I may have swallowed a bug. Yeah, this is a problem, you know. Talking and bugs fly in. Always bring a bottle of water. There's the outline of Arizona. Outline of Arizona that says Lectric bikes. Yeah, always bring a bottle of water. You never know. You might need it. Well, in my case, because I'm talking the entire time, usually while we're riding, I definitely need it. I definitely need it. Yeah, I don't know how long have we been riding. What time is it right now? It's 10 o'clock right now. Yeah, I don't know what time we left either. See, I'm telling you. I keep forgetting to look at. I didn't even look at the watch. The only thing I did before I left the house was find out how hot it was, and I don't even think it was accurate. Oh well, but it's a nice ride. I tell you, it's nice and cool. This is the ideal temperature for me right now. This is not 76. There's no way. There's no way. It said it was 76. There's no way. Okay, maybe it's 76 without the wind, but with the wind on you, it feels really good right now. I mean, to me, if I'm sweating, I don't have fun. I don't have fun. I don't like the ride. Simple as that. Wow, that guy went way over, and he's got cars on his on the opposite side. He's taking a gamble just to get around me. He should have just hung around with me. I don't know why he had to get that close to the outgoing cars. He's still on that. He's not even in the middle of the lane. He's over on the other side of the lane almost, very close to it, to the opposite side of the traffic. I don't know. I mean, they don't have any painted lines, but come on, you can kind of tell where you should be. Watch out for cars. He's trying to avoid me, but he's staying too far over. And then he just stayed there. Weird. All right, we are basically back in our general area. Across the road. Yeah, this is a full, entire video ride. All the way there and all the way back. That's what we're gonna do. Wait our turn. Yeah, cars are always looking at you. I tell you, whenever I'm on a cargo bike, they're always looking at the cargo bike because it looks so long. It's really not that much longer. It just looks like it. We're actually more forward on the thing. I've got to move over to this side. 'cause I'm gonna have to take a left-hand turn here. Let's put the turn signal on. Let them know. Put the turn signal on. Put the left hand out. Let them know I'm turning. I'm going for it. Make my turn, then turn off the turn signal. Hey, see, there you go. Battery's down to maybe a quarter of the way down. You've got plenty of range when you have the dual battery. So here's my suggestion. If you buy one of these electric cargo bikes, Expedition 2.0, okay, get the extended range battery and get 2 of them. Now, how much is it? Well, I'm not sure. I think it starts at like $13.99 for the standard battery and just one of them. Or if you max it out and get the 2 extended range version, I think it's $19.99. It's just like basically $2,000, something like that. That's what this bike is. Do that if you can afford it. Then you can go anywhere you want. Yeah, you don't have to worry about range, because you're gonna have a lot of range. And if you pedal the entire time, you're gonna have tons of range. All right, we gotta make a turn over here. Tons of range, and easy riding bike. Yeah, I like this bike a lot. I do. I've had several cargo bikes, and of the cargo bikes that I've had, I think I like this one the best. Yeah, it performs really well. It feels really good. You got the suspension seat post on it. It'll do 28 miles an hour when you pedal it, 20 miles an hour if you throttle it. It's got a lot of capability of carrying things. Just put a cooler in the back. Get an Engwe cooler, one of those things. Get some bungee cords, cord it to the hand holding thing. And if you don't have the hand holding thing, then your bungee cord it still to the rack. But the hand holding thing keeps the cooler inside some type of confinement, right? So it actually is better. That's why I leave it on there. Take a left over here. Yeah, you see that bird? Pigeon. Pigeon in front of us. Yeah, this is a nice riding bike for a cargo bike. For any bike. Yeah, I like it. I got to ride this more often. I think I'm at the point now that the bikes that are in the house are kind of like the bikes I really like keeping in the house. So as new stuff comes through, I'm having a harder and harder time deciding what to sell off. I'll say this, before it's even up on the russisright.com website, if you made it this far, I'm gonna put up Mrs. Wright's bike. The Radster Road large. Okay, they have a regular size and a large. I'm gonna put up Mrs. Wright's Radster Road large. I talked to her about it, and I says, "Do you really need to ride that particular bike?" She goes, "No." I mean, we have several different bikes that I think she could actually easily ride now, that are commuter style bikes. So I says, "Do you really need that one?" She goes, "Not really." She says, "Sell off whatever you want." So I may put that one up. If you're interested in the Radster Road bike from Rad Power Bikes, or if you know someone interested and they're willing to come to the northern suburbs of Chicago, have them contact me. Okay, contact russisright@gmail.com. All one word. Contact russisright, and then I'll get a price together for it. I haven't put it up on the website yet, but I know it's going to go up there. So you want to beat everyone else out. And I'll put a good price on it. She hasn't ridden it much. I think if it has 20 miles even on it, it'd be a lot. Yeah, a lot of my bikes don't have a lot of mileage. Some of them do. If I favor a bike, I might ride it quite a bit. I try to spread my rides. We're back in our general area, by the way. I try to spread my rides out among the bikes. So that's why it's not like the very first bike I got. I put like 2,600 miles on that first bike. on a first year. It's not like that. It's spread over multiple bikes, so the bikes come and go, and I've had over 50 something bikes now, over 55 now, I think. And some bikes I ride more, some bikes I ride less. I know this, I think I ride less now than I did when I first got my first e-bike. I think when you first get your first e-bike, you go crazy. You ride everywhere, all over the place. And then you kind of smooth down and say, okay, where do I really want to go? What's the easiest way to get there? Cuts down your mileage when you do that. Getting like sand in my eyes. I don't know what they were doing at that, was it a baseball field or what is that thing? It's like sand floating around in the air. All right, anyways, we're back in our general area. So, hey, I appreciate you guys hanging around for the entire ride. Let me know in the comments if you watched the entire video. I want to find out how many people actually did it to find out whether it's worth doing this long of a video or not, or whether you said, it wasn't worth hanging out that long, even though you hung out that long. Let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. Okay, if you think it's okay if you just do a half-hour version of this, you know. People say, how come your videos are so long? Well, that's because I'm just riding and talking. Yeah, I don't edit much out, as you know. All right, hit the like and subscribe button. Talk to you guys next time.